the Real Mums of Insta. This is our very first video, so we are very excited and nervous. So we have Amy, Angelina, Emma, and I am Hayley. Now we are a group of mums that have got together and we feel really passionate about trying to connect with other mums and bring together a community. So that is why we wanted to start doing these videos.
Yep.
To talk about what we've been up to during the week, any issues we have, and also bring on other guests who are mums and chat a bit about their life. Because the thing is about real mums is that there's not a real mum. We're all real mums, and that's what we'd like to showcase on here. We want to answer any questions that you have, so please drop any questions below. As I say, we will be having weekly guests on, and if you follow us on Instagram, we are at the.real.mums.of.insta, and we will let you know who is going to be our guest and open up questions for the following week. We'll be posting our videos every Wednesday at 2 PM, so we'd be very grateful if you would subscribe so you don't miss any of our amazing banter and chat and expertise knowledge.
Loosely,
take it with a big pinch of salt.
Yeah.
And don't forget to hit the bell if so you get notifications of when we have posted. The first thing we wanted to talk about was the Christmas party we were all at the weekend that Amy organised. So it was amazing.
So amazing. Actually so amazing.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Have we recovered?
I have. I was sober. So, what about you? You recovered?
Just fine. See the amount of girls that said though that it was like the best night they've had, like especially like since either having their babies or just ever.
It was so good. It had all. Had like the girls, the booze, naked men,
Yeah,
a sexophonicist, is that the word? A raffle. What did it not have?
It was so good.
We won the raffle as well. We won prizes. Did you win? You won cupcakes.
I won cupcakes, which I gave to Erin, mother of all that is Perry, because I am terrible with vouchers and they sit in a cupboard and then I go, oh, must use that voucher, and it's out of date. So I thought I gifted it to Erin, who will hopefully use
Sweetheart,
it. And how many did you win, Angelina?
I won 4. I spent like £800.
And can we talk about the naked butlers just for a minute?
I would like to talk about that.
So just actually scrap everything.
I had a question, genuinely, right?
Yeah.
And I asked my mum this question the other day. Where does their willies go, right? She said to me that, I don't know how she knows.
Why did you ask your mum of all people?
My mum's pretty cool. She's like, well, where's Pam?
Lack of knowledge.
So what she said, I feel like makes sense. So now they've got their aprons, right? Their uniform.
What's it called?
I think it must have a wee bit.
Oh no, it definitely does, because one of them, during that he put his hand down and he pulled out his phone.
Well, I'm glad it was his phone. My mum enlightened me. I don't know how she knows.
Well done, your mum.
Good on you, Margaret.
And we found that they do iron their own little aprons.
I asked them that
important.
question. I wanted to know who did that for them, because if it was their mums, it would have been such a letdown.
I know. But their shoes is what was weird for me. I was like, you're fully naked apart from your apron. And then a pair of trainers, and I was like, I don't know what they should be wearing, but
I know.
like one of them had like big boots, and I was like, just weird.
Flip-flops.
Flip flops or just bare feet, naked with like
About
any
white
white feet. No, I wouldn't really like seeing their feet. Any.
I never noticed their shoes.
I was always midway through a conversation, one would walk past, and I'm like, sorry, what was that?
Love your shoes, mate.
You were like that. Oh, like I didn't even notice that down there, Hayley. I thought you meant like maybe something fell on the ground. I was like, what? Oh, that's a bum.
I kept accidentally grazing their bum on the way down. Accidentally. But generally it wasn't. I was like, it's like fuzzy. It's just a strange way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
They were lovely.
They were very lovely. Lovely.
No, it was amazing though. It was, and see, looking back at the pictures as well now that you got the professional ones, the place was bouncing.
It was.
It was so glam as well though, but it was so, I mean, like, how do you feel? Like, are you?
I am so proud of myself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As you should
Yeah.
be. And how much did you raise? Do you have a total yet?
So I actually started counting and then I got bad at maths and then I realised I was running late, so I had to come here. But we have raised, I think it was about 970 on an
That's
Apple Prize.
amazing.
So amazing.
So amazing.
Who bought the £70 worth of tickets then?
I was rooked after that. So I took £110 out and I came home with like nothing. And I don't drink.
Four prizes.
That's unfair.
You
Came home with like £800 worth of
Yeah,
it.
you did alright.
So, how long has Social Mamas Club been going for now?
Since July. So not that long, but seeing that room filled on Sunday, like, was amazing at how far Social Mamas Club is.
I actually thought it was a lot longer than that. How have you done that?
I know.
That's amazing.
See the difference compared to like the launch night was amazing, but the difference between the launch night and Sunday was
I also think there's a lot of friendships that have formed since the launch night.
Absolutely.
At the Christmas party, I was like, I've worked so hard for this. I'm going to
enjoy
enjoy
it.
myself.
Yeah.
So I just was dancing and everything, and so I think there's been a lot of friendships formed that you could see.
Absolutely.
At the party,
That was one of the best
so,
things, was seeing people that you think I know from like group chats and stuff that you didn't know each other, and now looking at you, you look like best friends, like dancing and having such a good time. It's amazing.
All of that is
Yeah.
like we met through.
That's crazy.
Well, we
Well, we
met
didn't.
before.
We met before.
That was actually one of the questions. So I'd asked like on our Instagram page, like if anybody had any questions, that was one of the questions, how we all met.
Oh,
yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
How did you two meet then? How did you two meet?
I feel like I met a lot of people through this person.
Yeah.
Through my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how we know each other.
That's how we know each other.
Yep.
But
We met in the massage class
Yeah.
with
oh,
your second youngest and my youngest.
And wild children of probably the
Yeah.
whole group.
We
all
bonded
of
over the
them,
fact where we're like,
oh god.
See, to start with as well, they were so good as babies, weren't they? And then we met almost every week for that first year. We'd like go around to each other's houses for tea and cake, like there was a group of us, sort of 6 of us. But as they got older, like I found like Oliver and Emily were the first ones to do things, so they were the first like
the joint.
top first and what first year, like that's like not that it's a competition at all, but you're just like, oh, that's amazing, they're getting really independent. And then it gets to a point, I remember one like play date you didn't have Emily, and I was like, great. Why? Emily's the one that makes like
It's so
they're both, they make me feel like I'm not alone, and like Oliver's wildness, like definitely. And then we were still in touch, but I think when you started Instagram, we got back in touch, right? And we were still
And you
in
moved
touch,
as well, I
yeah.
suppose, because
I'd
you used to be
moved.
down the road.
Yeah. And then once you started Instagram, I was just like, yes. And then I think that I'd messaged you about coming to. I don't know how I'd seen your launch night thing at
I don't
all.
know either.
I don't know.
I don't know how it ended up
Right
there.
I messaged you and I
Was
was
it
like
you?
that. Yeah, there's this like mum's event because
Yeah.
you hadn't long started Instagram,
Oh, I have
and I
about
was
3
like,
followers.
I was like,
I'm a blogger now.
it would be really fun to like get involved and see. I was like, I know a couple of other sort of mum bloggers that's going, so it must have been one of them shared something.
Yeah.
And then we went along and met Amy. And then
I wasn't there.
I
had a ticket.
Oh no!
I had a ticket and you refunded it for me.
Oh.
Because I was having all sorts of crap
Yeah.
happen.
Oh.
So I didn't feel comfortable going alone.
Oh.
But
we
came
got
the next one.
Yeah.
Came the next one, and that's when I met you.
That's I feel. See, when like I was thinking back, that's when we first met. I was like, I feel dead embarrassed now because I was like,
You stood
up
up
there.
at the top.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
what I
that
was doing at the
night,
time. I was like, yeah, I spoke.
Here's my expertise on motherhood.
I actually thought you were like an expert. One, you can like 100 kids.
Yeah.
Like you've got so many kids. I'm just like, how did she do this? Oh my god! But before I went to that on that, I think it was actually on that day, or maybe the day before, you had actually done a story saying how you had been off Instagram for a wee while because things were getting a bit negative, blah blah blah, and you done this big rant, and I was like, oh, love her, love her, right? So totally loved you.
Did you not message me?
And you were like, you lost hundreds of followers.
You were like, that's not
the
gonna
one.
go.
You know what, I actually remember that, and it wasn't anything in particular, it was just loads of things that were happening, and it was in my head, and I went into the gym, and like I couldn't even do a full hour, I was like half an hour, and in my head I was just boiling and getting boiling, and I never rant about anything. I'm usually quite a...
You're
Yeah. And I went back and I was like, no, and I sat in my car and I was like, right. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, it was brilliant. I love that rant.
It was needed.
It was. Yep, it
We
was.
bonded before we even met.
Exactly. I was dying to meet you at the event, and then I found out you were the speaker.
Oh, so funny. It's just brought so many mums together. It's amazing.
I know, it's so good.
How did the idea first come about? I don't think I've ever actually asked you that.
No.
I actually really no. I love organising events, and I love getting like together with my friends, and I love getting dressed up, and I think I felt like I was missing kind of that in my life, and I just thought, you know, I'm going to start a mum club that's not playgroup that you go to with your kids, and I want something without the kids where you can go and feel good about yourself, get dressed up, and go out and just be you. So
definitely, it makes it easier. Makes it easier for mums, I think, to get an excuse to be out together, because you know, if I just say to Sean, oh, I'm just going out in the, you know, the Randan willy-nilly, he's like, alright, are you? Whereas if I'm like, I've got this amazing thing, it makes it sound so much more like, on you go, actually, or whatever it is. So definitely makes things a lot easier, I think, having that there. It's just, it's brilliant, honestly.
And you've done like niche ones as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I did topical ones for, between our launch party and our Christmas, we've done some topics. So we did like first time mums, and we did a first aid awareness night, we did a baby loss event as well, which was really lovely. It was really nice, and we've got lots of different things.
I was going to ask, are we allowed to know?
Well, we've got a charity ball in May that will have minimum 300 mums and friends. So we've got the ball, we've got some other different things coming up. Actually not set. That's the only one we've got a date for, so everything else will come as well.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So that is enough about us, as much as we could probably just chat about the Naked Butlers all day. We thought we'd move on to talking about friendships, how they change when you become a mum, making new friends, how it's different with old friends. I don't know how you guys all feel, if you felt becoming a mum was a good thing for friendship or a bad thing. I know everyone has different experiences. I was really, really lucky. I fell in. I was the first one out of all my friends to have a baby, but everyone, that made it a novelty, so everyone was excited. And I was so lucky to fall in with an amazing group of first time mums, and we saw each other all the time, every week, and still keep in touch with them now. That would be almost 6 years ago. And same again with Emily. I met Hayley and lots of other lovely mums as well. So yeah, what about you guys? How did you find things changed when you became a mum?
Mine was probably the opposite from you. When I had Genevieve, I struggled a wee bit, to be honest. And my friends, two of my friends already had babies, but they were working when I was on maternity leave just because they were a wee bit older, so didn't really get much time to actually do anything. And I wasn't on like my Instagram the way I am now to even get this kind of thing. So for about 1.5 years of Genevieve being born, I was not really that happy, to be honest. Just felt really lonely. I personally just felt really, really lonely and just struggled with it all. So yeah, so it's easier now. I've got you guys, which is amazing. I see you more than I see my other friends. I call them my real friends, but there's absolutely no difference. Trust me. Like, they're amazing, you guys are amazing. I don't feel any difference now between them, which is good. But I definitely feel like I've got more sort of support now than what I did. But also quite a lot of my other friends as well have had kids now, and we do see each other more. But it's definitely, it's hard. I think it's tough having wee people.
I think my experience is rare compared to your experience is probably more common, the loneliness.
The norm, yeah, definitely. It was no fun at first. Now it's a ball.
How about you, Amy?
Well, I was one of the first out of my friendship. I had grown up having lots of friends, but all in different groups. One of my friends had a baby not long before me, and then she was due her second just before I had Caden. Although we didn't see each other that much, and I don't even know why. But although I had a huge group of friends, I think if I'm being truly honest, I felt up until recently I was lacking in some friendship. Kind of, how would you describe, like a
common like a tribe. It's like having like a little tribe.
So I am very lucky. I've got a lot of my friends and I don't see them as often as I would like. But also I think that as I've gone on to have more kids and as we've all grown, a lot of us are so different now, and despite us being so different, we've got so much in common that is really nice, because when we're together, like, we can hear each other's different stories and things, but we're such a good support kind of group. Whereas I feel, being honest, probably with some friends that I thought I'd been friends with for so long and I'd be friends with them forever, I've not that's not happened and carried on. So I've definitely found through Instagram more so I've met a lot of people that are more probably like how I am now, despite having different backgrounds. So I found recently a lot more content because I feel like I've got a lovely group of mum friends and everything now, but I do feel so much more content now and happy to have that support.
We've got it because of you.
Social
mama. What about you?
I don't think a lot changed having kids. What I found changed the most was my pregnancies. My pregnancies were awful, like you know, my pregnancies got worse each one. And it was friends before they'd fell pregnant or had kids. You can't attend the same events, so you can't be there as much, and I know like it makes you seem like a rubbish friend like at the time, but you can't be there. Whereas like Instagram, especially when I was pregnant with Millie, I struggled so badly and I was in and out of hospital, and the amount of messages I got on Instagram from strangers who it'd come to like 6 o'clock in the morning and they'd be lying in like hospital and I'd get messages being like, you've been on my mind all night, like, and these are women like I've never met, and they'd remember facts and they'd be like, I wish I lived closer, if there's anything I can do, like it's so supportive. But yeah, I definitely think that people who don't have kids don't get it. They just think, well, you can still have a life, you're not just a mum. But it's so important to have a life outside of being a mum.
Hard though, isn't it?
But your whole priorities change. You've got different priorities to your friends. Your priorities not, like, I find I've cancelled plans like last minute, and I feel like if it was you girls, I could be like, the kids have been doing my head in, like I just really am up for coming to this event or something, and you'd be totally understanding. Or I'd be like, I'm going to come because I need out the house. Like, but I'll probably moan about the kids all night long and you should get it. Whereas friends that don't have kids, I'll either moan, oh, why are you not come in? Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't get what it's like to live on like 2 hours sleep. Like,
they've only got themselves to think about.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
and that's not a bad thing.
No,
it's just really different, isn't it?
100%. It's not. It's not their fault in trying to get that in your head and process. It's not anything you've done wrong, and it's not anything they've done wrong. It's just your life's become different, and that's all it is.
But just when you were saying about the Instagram and people supporting you and stuff, I was thinking about this channel, and like hopefully that's what we can do here is bring like mums together and get a community where we can all chat about stuff and support each other, and I hope we can do that here. I think that's the aim. That's the aim.
Definitely. And if anybody, like, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Do you have mum friends, do you have that support group, or are you lacking in it? I think we all said, like, at parts, even like the people that have had a good support group, it's felt lonely at times.
Absolutely.
I think motherhood can feel so lonely, and it's the only thing as well that you can be so busy and have so many things to do and be surrounded by little people all day long and not get a minute's peace, yet you feel so lonely and isolated and also so bored. You're doing your non-stop all day, but yet you're like, you don't feel like you're doing anything, and you can feel lonely. I think that's,
and I think is when you're saying bored, I love that you said that, because that's one of the things, like, well, you're bored with your children, you don't treasure every minute, you're not playing with them all the time and looking at them while they sleep. Like, just being able to say, oh, I would do my nut, and then they say, oh, can you play? And you're like, no, I don't want to. Like, because you're talking about, you just want to speak to like a grown-up person about like normal stuff, not like
speak to no one.
Or
sometimes
that
you
also
just want to speak to no one.
I'm just going for a wee on my own.
Please.
Yeah.
So part of the show, we're going to do a question of the week. So basically we're going to nip onto Instagram and ask if there's any questions that you guys have for us, and we're going to pick one each week and read it out and answer it. So question number 1 is from the lovely Jules. So she has asked, do we have any tips on surviving with a newborn and a toddler? I'm off the hook here because I don't have a newborn, which is good. So it's just you girls. I've only got one baby.
So go on, ladies. Help us all out.
I think the main thing that saved my life, there was a 3-year gap between my two. So Abby was 3 and a little tiny bit when Emily came along, and the main thing that helped was having a sling, which I thought like, oh, sling, I'm not one of those like sling moms. But I was like, survival, like I was like, my 3-year-old needs me, like she needs me to wipe her bum and do all those things. I can't do that and hold a newborn at the same time. So she just literally lived and slept in the sling all day for the first like 6 months of her life until she started objecting to it. And it meant like you would forget. I used to go like, oh my god, where's Emily? And I was like, oh, hi. But it was great. She would sleep in. I used to just go out like everywhere. It was brilliant until she got too big for it. But that was definitely, it meant like, because I was like, well, the baby just needs like fed and poo and that's it, whereas Abby needs everything. So it meant I always had 2 hands, and I could still like do baking and wholesome crafts with Abby. One time. That is my top tip, is a sling. I like the close caboo for no reason except I could put it on. I could hold the baby and put it on at the same time. It was quite easy, and it was stretchy and comfy. But I know there's loads of other ones that people like, so maybe if you've had a sling that you liked, drop it in the comments below, or pop over to our Instagram page and we can have a little top sling section maybe. What about you?
So obviously I've done it quite a few times, 4 times. No, so I had obviously Lucas first, and then I had Ethan when Lucas was 2.5, and then I had Oliver when Ethan was 2 days before his 2nd birthday, and then I had Millie when Oliver was 15 months. So there's a short space between all of them.
Wow.
So my tip, definitely I'd say having a double buggy, and we tried to get like the buggy board and use a single buggy, but it's so much easier having a double buggy and not forcing your toddler to walk. It's sometimes easier when you've just got the one child because you can carry them, but when you've got another baby as well, definitely double buggy. And I'd say also just like taking the child, like if the baby's sleeping, obviously you can't sleep, but you can still have quiet time. Like, so we'd always watch movies, so if the babies are sleeping, and even now with having, so Lucas is 7, so 7 and 4, and then I call the babies Oliver and Millie, and when the 2 little ones are sleeping, the older ones will have quiet time, so like we'll like play games or just watch a video and chill out. And I find that really helps, and then you're still getting the rest as well, because you still need rest, but you just don't get it the same as when you just had, babies and toddlers run you ragged. Definitely. What do you think?
I had Jackson when Caden was nearly 3. He was turning 3 2 months later, and then I had Callie a week after Jackson turned 1, so like 12 months. And I found Caden and Jackson it was relatively fine because Caden was at the age that he actually wanted to help, and I would let him help me out with getting nappies or bottles or whatever. And what was most important to me was letting him be part of everything, so that because he'd been on his own for 3 years, so that he didn't feel like pushed aside. So kind of having him, making sure he felt still a part, and also spending time with just him too. But when we had Jackson and Callie, that was hard, and that Jackson was so demanding. And actually, you talking about the double buggy and you talking about the sling, these are two things I always said, oh, I should get that, and I never did. So when Callie was so young, I would say probably up until she was like 1.5 years, I struggled, but I know things like that would have helped me. But one thing that helped me was getting help from people. So like if my mother-in-law were to offer to take one of the kids or two of the kids away so that I could just have time with Callie to sleep when she was sleeping, then that really helped me as well. But I definitely think the same as what you were saying about quiet time, when I had Caden, when Caden was napping or sleeping, I'd always be like trying to clean the house up or do whatever. Whereas the more kids that we've gone on, especially when you've got a toddler and a baby, you need to just take rest time. And like my standards for the have lowered.
Mine don't exist anymore.
Mine don't exist now either. And I think that's just kind of, I've become a lot more relaxed now. I was really OCD before, whereas now spending time with each of them, so if Callie were sleeping, it's spending time with Jackson, Caden's at school and everything, just make sure you're spending time with all of them individually so that the others don't get jealous or upset if you're not like spending time with them. So don't really have any major tips.
Well, you said take help.
Well,
that's a massive help. People are so reluctant, I think, at first to do that. Like, I know that when I had Genevieve, my mum took Genevieve overnight the second night that we were out, and I told one of my friends, and they were like, what? And I was like, well, she ripped me front to back. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm not getting any awards. I'm not a better mum if I don't. Like, so take the help.
I was always very, like, I could do everything myself, didn't need help. But as soon as I got that bit of help, I was like, this is amazing. So now I like call the grandparents up to be like, do you want to help? Usually they say no.
That's what they're there for.
No kidding, they're actually really good, but it's obviously a lot of work when there's more of them. But yeah, I just like take help and lower your standards, because that helps too. That used to drive me insane when I had to have everything spotless. You just don't have the time to. So
and I suppose if you can, things like asking for help, one of the things we are very lucky to have is a cleaner. And just outsourcing anything that can be outsourced, where I'm like, don't want to spend any free time I have cleaning. So we're lucky enough that we can afford to have a cleaner who comes and does all the cleaning. I mean, the tidying's a different matter, but it means like at the weekends we're not going, right, we better go and clean the kitchen.
So I'd say one thing actually about having a baby and a toddler is also lower your expectations of what you can do for them. They will cry and scream. Like I remember it was when Oliver was a baby actually, and he wanted fed and Ethan just wanted cuddled, and they were both actually just screaming. And it was a health visitor midwife, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm actually fine, like I am fine, like I'm alright, like, and I was like, that it's just, I was like, see, as soon as you leave, it'll be fine. I'll put him on for a feed, I'll be able to cuddle him up and we'll watch a movie. But also, like, so if I'm through and cooking the dinner just now, Oliver and Millie is just at me and they scream and claw at my legs. And I think before I would have been like, oh, they're crying, I need to solve whatever's their problem, I have to get them to stop. Whereas now I'm just like, no, your needs are met. You're just crying for attention and I can't give it to you right now, and that's okay. Being able to switch off to their crying, which is so hard to do. I can't do it a lot. Derek's a lot easier at doing it than I am. I get really overwhelmed, but then I have to kind of draw that back and remind myself. And it seems so much worse when you've got a baby and a toddler, because they're both really demanding. Like,
and in
babies
different
and
ways
toddlers,
too. That's what I found hard.
Completely.
Well, I think with the age gap with Jackson and Callie, difficult because Jackson was still a baby, although he was now a big brother.
Yeah.
We all treated him like, well, you're a big brother now, you're a big boy. And obviously he still needed so much help as well, so it's just trying to like,
Yeah, definitely.
So we hope you've enjoyed our first video, and we can't wait to see you next week. If you have got any questions or feedback, then please pop them in the comments below. And in the meantime, until next week, you can find us on our Instagram where you'll see daily updates, and that is the.real.mums.of.insta. Fuck's sake!